producer and is known both for its exemplary ecological approach and for sustainable tourism. It is in this very country, however, where workers on plantations complain about a lack of rights. Pineapples are grown and harvested here in vast monoculture plantations using huge amounts of pesticides. Approximately 70% of workers in the Costa Rican pineapple industry are Nicaraguan migrants. These migrant workers are the secret to Costa Rica's pineapple success. They provide a cheaper and more flexible workforce. Many have no official papers or visas, which leaves them particularly vulnerable to the power of their employers, who can sack and deport them at any sign of trouble, for example, if they complain about working conditions or join a trade union. Due to the physical intensity of the work on pineapple plantations, many workers suffer back problems and damage to joints and muscles. Many workers also reported accidents in workplace ranging from damage to eyes from the long spiky pineapple leaves to being left immobile after accidents involving heavy machinery, such as tractors and trailers. Working with high levels of agrochemicals also led to reports of problems of skin and eye irritation, damage, respiratory and bronchial disorders, problems associated with the nervous system, birth defects in women worker, male sterility and psychological problems such as anxiety and depression. The flesh and juice of the pineapple are used in cuisines around the world. In many tropical countries, pineapple is prepared and sold on roadsides as a snack. It is sold whole or in halves with a stick inserted. Whole cord slices with a cherry in the middle are a common garnish on hams in the West. Chunks of pineapple are used in desserts such as fruit salad, as well as in some savory dishes, including pizza toppings, or as a grilled ring on a hamburger. Crushed pineapple is used in yogurt, jam, sweets, and ice cream. Pineapple vinegar is an ingredient found in Honduran and Filipino cuisine, where it is produced locally. In Mexico it is usually made with peels from the whole fruit rather than the juice, but in Taiwanese cuisine it is often produced by blending pineapple juice with grain vinegar. Pineapples are sweet, delicious, golden yellow fruits from tropical regions. If you love to eat pineapple but have only seen it at the grocery store, this video explains how do pineapples grow and how to harvest pineapples. Pineapple is perennial plant of the family Bromeliaceae and its edible fruit. Pineapple is native to tropical and subtropical America and has been introduced elsewhere. The fruit has become a characteristic ingredient in the meat, vegetable, fish, and rice dishes of what is loosely termed Pan-Asian cuisine. The fruit is eaten fresh where available and in canned form worldwide. In the United States and in Europe it is sometimes used as a pastry filling or in baked desserts. Pineapple plants can mostly be found in Latin America and West Africa. In Europe, the majority of pineapples in our market come from Costa Rica, which supplies 75% of the pineapples found in the EU. In fact, the Costa Rican tropical fruit export market was valued at $1.22 billion in 2015. How pineapples are grown. There are a range of worker roles in the production of pineapples. These vary from land preparation in the field to loading pineapples into boxes in the pack house. Pineapple plants are spiky and difficult to handle. They grow low to the ground, requiring workers to stoop over the plants, and the monoculture production method requires that there is no shade over the plants. Therefore, workers have no respite from the suffocating heat of the day. The majority of large-scale plantations are in operation for 24 hours a day. Workers therefore work in shifts of anything from 8 to 14 hours, which vary depending on the time of the shift. The types of tasks, in both the field and the packing, involve using heavy machinery and carrying out repetitive tasks that put a lot of strain on the body, i.e., constant bending over to plant seeds, weed and harvest the pineapples. Some companies are, however, introducing mechanized harvesting, which goes some way to reduce the strain on workers. In recent years, the world pineapple market has expanded rapidly, with production increasing by nearly 50% since 1998. According to FAO statistics, pineapples are the 11th most cultivated fruit, with over 24.8 million tons being produced in 2013. The green pineapple market is due in part to the popularity of the new sweet or gold pineapple variety, which is bigger, has a high sugar content, appealing taste and color, and is consistent in quality. This variety has sold well since Del Monte launched the first gold pineapple on our supermarket shelves in 1992. The other major fruit companies followed suit. Most exported pineapples are grown by banana-producing companies, often on former banana plantations, employing the same workers and using the same transport and distribution networks. Large-scale pineapple production has the same environmentally damaging effects as banana production, and workers also face social and economic difficulties. The majority of fresh pineapples sold on the world market are produced in Latin America, with 84% grown in Costa Rica. The majority of production is on large-scale monoculture plantations owned by a small number of national and multinational fruit companies. The Del Monte Fruit Company and its subsidiaries produce over 50% of Costa Rica's pineapple exports. Smaller producers do exist, but many are facing high debts and bankruptcy. Whilst the major fruit companies such as Del Monte, Dole, Fifths and Chiquita used to dominate the world pineapple supply chain, the last 10 years have seen a rise in the influence of major retailers. Compared to retailers, pineapple workers only receive around 4% of the value along the supply chain. They also work in particularly poor conditions, working long hours and receiving poverty wages. Workers also face union repression, gender discrimination and health issues caused by working with toxic chemicals. For example, a recent report, Sweet Fruit, Bitter Truth, published by Oxfam Germany, found that workers on pineapple plantations are frequently being exposed to dangerous levels of pesticide, and in several areas, water supplies are constantly being contaminated with chemicals. Many of the chemicals used are not licensed for use in the EU because they are considered to be too dangerous to use. Pineapples are classified as a seedless syncope, which is a fruit that forms when all the flowers fuse together into one. As the fruit moves closer to harvest, the fruitlets begin to flatten, and the outer skin of the pineapple begins to change from green to yellow. The ripening process starts at the bottom of the pineapple and slowly works its way up to the top. Pineapples are ripe and ready to harvest when the entire outer skin develops a yellowish color and a pineapple smell, and the flesh is an orange-yellow color. It's best to allow the fruit to fully ripen on the plant, because once picked, it won't get any sweeter, although the outer skin will continue to ripen. Each fully developed pineapple can weigh up to 5 pounds, but fruit grown from crowns is generally smaller than those found at your local market. In manual harvesting, one man cuts off or breaks off the fruits and tosses them to a truck or passes them to two other workers with baskets who convey them to boxes, in which they are arranged with the stems upper for the removal of bracts and application of a 3% solution of benzoic acid on the cut stem of all fruits not intended for immediate processing. The harvested fruits must be protected from rain and dew. If moist, they must be dried before packing. All defective fruits are sorted out for use in processing. If the work is semi-mechanized, the harvesters decorn and trim the fruits and place them on a 30-foot conveyor boom, which extends across the rows and carries the fruits to a bin on a forklift, which loads it onto a truck or trailer. Some conveyors take the fruits directly into the canning factory from the field. In most regions of the world, pineapples are commonly marketed with crowns intact, but there is a growing practice of removing the crowns for planting. For the fresh fruit market, a short section of stem is customarily left on to protect the base of the fruit from bruising during shipment. Total mechanical harvesting is achieved by two hydraulically operated conveyors, with fingers on the top conveyor to snap off the fruit, the lower conveyor carrying it away to the decorators. After the fruit has been conveyed away, the workers go through the field to collect the crowns, where they have been left on the tops of the plants, and place them on the conveyors for a trip to the bins, which are then fork-lifted, and the crowns dumped into a planting machine. Costa Rica is the world's largest pineapple producer and Germany's main supplier of the fruit. Cheap labor and pesticides mean low prices in Western Europe. While organic pineapples are now being farmed on a larger scale to increasing demand, this likewise has negative consequences for Costa Rica's ecosystem. The fruits are cheap because costs are cut in the production countries, affecting wages and health factors. Costa Rica is the world's largest pineapple